Back in the 1970s, the world of computing looked vastly different from what we know today. Computers weren't the sleek personal devices we carry in our pockets or have on our desks. Instead, they were massive, expensive machines, often filling entire rooms with their complex circuitry and cooling systems. These behemoths were primarily used by large corporations and universities for complex calculations and data processing, far from the reach of ordinary people who could only dream of owning such technology. Access was limited and the idea of personal computing was still a distant concept. The idea of a personal computer, a machine accessible to individuals, was considered radical and almost absurd by many. But amidst this landscape of mainframe dominance, Bill Gates and Paul Allen, two young visionaries, saw its untapped potential. They envisioned a future where computers were not just tools for big institutions but instruments of empowerment for everyone. Inspired by the MIT's Altair 8800, one of the earliest personal computer kits, they recognized the spark of a revolution. Driven by their vision, they embarked on a bold endeavor, creating a basic interpreter, a crucial piece of software that would allow users to interact with the Altair, even before they had laid eyes on the actual hardware. Their innovative software solution deeply impressed the executives at MIT's, the company behind the Altair. This led to their first major contract, a pivotal moment that validated their vision and set them on a path to reshape the computing world. This early success was more than just a business deal. It was a declaration that software, not the physical hardware, would be the driving force behind the future of computing. And so, in 1975, in the unassuming city of Albuquerque, New Mexico, they officially founded Microsoft, a name that would soon become synonymous with the personal computer revolution. Their ambitious goal was nothing short of revolutionary, a computer on every desk and in every home. A vision that seemed almost impossible at the time. But rather than diving into the complex and capital-intensive world of building computers themselves, they strategically focused on the development of software, the very soul of these machines. They adopted a clever strategy of licensing their basic interpreter and other software to multiple computer manufacturers, ensuring its widespread adoption. This strategic decision set Microsoft apart from its competitors, allowing them to focus on innovation and market penetration. This approach allowed their software to proliferate across the rapidly expanding PC market, reaching a wider audience and establishing their brand as a leader. Recognizing the importance of being at the center of technological innovation, by 1979, Microsoft made a strategic move to relocate to Washington State. This positioned the company at the heart of the burgeoning tech industry, a move that would prove crucial for their future growth and success. Their forward-thinking vision, combined with their innovative licensing model, laid a solid foundation for Microsoft's future dominance in the computer industry, setting the stage for decades of unprecedented growth and market leadership. The once distant dream of accessible computing, a world where technology empowered individuals in their homes and workplaces, was rapidly transforming from a mere fantasy into a tangible and rapidly approaching reality, thanks to the pioneering efforts of companies like Microsoft. With the pieces in place and their vision gaining momentum, the stage was set for Microsoft's next big leap, a leap that would solidify their place in history. The year was 1980. IBM, a giant in the mainframe world, recognized the burgeoning potential of the personal computer market. They understood that the future of computing was rapidly changing. To compete, they needed an operating system, and they needed it quickly. Time was of the essence, and IBM was under pressure to deliver a competitive product to the market as soon as possible. Microsoft, a relatively small company at the time, saw this as a golden opportunity. Bill Gates and his team recognized the immense potential of partnering with IBM. They boldly promised IBM a fully functional operating system, even though they didn't actually have one ready at that moment. It was a high-stakes gamble, but Microsoft was confident they could deliver. To fulfill their promise, Microsoft strategically acquired QDOS, or Quick and Dirty Operating System, from Seattle Computer Products for a mere $50,000. They then meticulously refined and adapted QDOS, transforming it into what would become MS-DOS, the Microsoft Disk Operating System. The real stroke of genius, however, wasn't just the software itself, but the terms of the deal they negotiated with IBM. IBM gained the right to bundle MS-DOS with every IBM PC they sold, making it the standard operating system for their machines. Crucially, Microsoft retained the right to license MS-DOS independently to other computer manufacturers, a decision that would prove incredibly lucrative. Soon, a wave of IBM PC clones began to flood the market, offering consumers more affordable alternatives. Because Microsoft had retained the licensing rights, Mississippi, DOS quickly became the de facto industry standard, running on virtually every IBM PC-compatible machine. The MS-DOS command line interface, while rudimentary by today's standards, was the gateway to interacting with the computer. It was ubiquitous, powering the vast majority of personal computers in homes and offices across the globe. The IBM PC's phenomenal success following its launch in 1981 solidified Microsoft's position as a key player, and cemented their central role in the burgeoning personal computing revolution. Their ingenious licensing model ensured that Microsoft's software was not just a part of the PC revolution, but at its very core. For an entire decade, Mississippi, DOS defined the computing experience for millions of users worldwide. This strategic partnership with IBM, combined with their remarkable foresight in retaining licensing rights, irrevocably set Microsoft on an unprecedented trajectory, paving the way for their eventual dominance of the tech industry. But the world of computing was constantly evolving. The next major challenge was to make computers more accessible and truly user-friendly for everyone. The era of intuitive graphical user interfaces, or GUIs, was on the horizon, promising a more visual and interactive computing experience. And once again, Microsoft was poised and ready to lead the charge into this exciting new frontier. In the early days of personal computing, Mississippi, DOS reigned supreme. It was the operating system that powered countless PCs, setting the stage for the digital revolution. But its text-based interface, with cryptic commands and a steep learning curve, was daunting for most users. Navigating the system required memorizing a multitude of commands, making it inaccessible to the average person. Inspired by the groundbreaking work of Apple and Xerox, who were pioneering graphical user interfaces, Microsoft began developing its own graphical user interface, Windows, aiming to make computers more intuitive and user-friendly. This was a significant shift in strategy, recognizing the limitations of the command line interface. Early versions struggled to gain traction, facing criticism for their limited functionality and performance issues. But Microsoft persisted, recognizing that a GUI was essential for the future of personal computing. They understood that ease of use would be the key to unlocking the potential of computers for a wider audience. The breakthrough finally came with Windows 3.0 and 3.1, marking a turning point in the history of operating systems. These versions offered significantly better graphics, making the interface more visually appealing and engaging. They also delivered improved performance, making the system more responsive and efficient. And a growing library of software applications expanded the capabilities of Windows, making it a more versatile platform. Simple games like Solitaire and Minesweeper helped users learn how to use the mouse and interact with the graphical interface, making the GUI more approachable and less intimidating for new users. Windows 3.X sold millions of copies, rapidly becoming the standard GUI on IBM-compatible PCs and solidifying Microsoft's position in the market. The launch of Windows 95 was not just a product release, it was a cultural phenomenon, generating unprecedented excitement and media attention. It introduced iconic features like the Start menu and the taskbar, which revolutionized the way people interacted with their computers. Windows 95 also offered a more stable and integrated system, reducing crashes and improving the overall user experience. Windows 95 moved beyond DOS as a foundation, cementing Microsoft's dominance in the world of desktop computing for years to come. The user-friendly interface and intuitive design brought computing to the masses, making it accessible to people of all ages and backgrounds. Microsoft's vision of a computer on every desk and in every home was rapidly becoming a reality, transforming the way people lived and worked. Windows became the ubiquitous face of personal computing worldwide, shaping the digital landscape and influencing generations of users. With Windows firmly established, the company's next move was to redefine how people worked, focusing on enhancing productivity and collaboration. Productivity software was about to get a major upgrade, promising to streamline workflows and empower users with new tools and capabilities. As Windows took off, Microsoft saw an opportunity in productivity software. The market was fragmented, but Microsoft bundled Word, Excel, and PowerPoint into Office, creating a unified suite. Office debuted on Mac in 1989 and Windows in 1990, quickly becoming the standard for business productivity. Integration features like shared menus and OLE made Office powerful and user-friendly. Office 95, released alongside Windows 95, solidified Microsoft's dominance. Outlook joined in Office 97, making it an all-in-one productivity hub. Office's file formats became global standards, locking in users and businesses. The synergy between Windows and Office defined the PC era. Microsoft software was now essential for work and home. The company set its sights on the enterprise. Microsoft's next frontier was the enterprise server market, dominated by companies like Novell and Oracle. The answer: Windows NT, a robust, secure 32-bit operating system built from scratch. Released in 1993, Windows NT laid the foundation for Microsoft's server ambitions. Microsoft built an ecosystem around NT, including SQL Server, Exchange, and management tools. The integrated stack simplified IT for businesses, making Microsoft a one-stop shop. Windows Server and related products steadily gained market share, displacing established competitors. Microsoft's desktop dominance made it logical for businesses to adopt its server solutions. The enterprise market became a major, stable revenue stream. Microsoft was now indispensable to companies of all sizes. Next, the company would take on the living room. By the late 1990s, Microsoft eyed the living room, where Sony's PlayStation was thriving. Fearing consoles could threaten the PC, Microsoft launched the Xbox in 2001. The Xbox was powerful, featuring a hard drive and Ethernet port for online play. Its killer app, Halo, redefined console gaming and drove sales. Xbox Live set the standard for online multiplayer experiences. Despite early losses, the Xbox 360 became a massive success, making Microsoft a gaming powerhouse. The Xbox brand diversified Microsoft's business and built a loyal fan base. Microsoft was now a major player in entertainment. The company's strategy expanded through bold acquisitions. The next era would be defined by transformative deals. In the 2010s, Microsoft pursued major acquisitions to reshape its future. The $8.5 billion purchase of Skype in 2011 brought global communication tools into Microsoft's ecosystem. In 2016, Microsoft acquired LinkedIn for $26.2 billion, integrating professional networking with its cloud and productivity services. The LinkedIn deal aimed to create a powerful ecosystem for business, sales, and recruiting. In 2018, Microsoft bought GitHub for $7.5 billion, placing itself at the center of the software development world. Under Satya Nadella, Microsoft embraced open source, winning over developers. These acquisitions expanded Microsoft's reach into communication, professional networking, and developer tools. Each deal was a strategic move to secure Microsoft's relevance in a changing tech landscape. The company was no longer just about Windows and Office. Leadership would soon drive even more dramatic change. Microsoft's story is shaped by three leaders: Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer, and Satya Nadella. Gates built Microsoft's foundation, driving the PC revolution and establishing software dominance. Ballmer, CEO from 2000 to 2014, grew revenue but missed key trends like search, mobile, and social media. Microsoft's failure in mobile was a major setback, and innovation stalled. By the early 2010s, the company needed a new direction. Satya Nadella became CEO in 2014, shifting focus to cloud and mobile. Nadella championed a cultural transformation, emphasizing empathy, collaboration, and growth. He moved Microsoft beyond its Windows-first mentality, embracing openness and cloud services. Under Nadella, Microsoft's stock soared and its relevance was restored. The company was reinvented for a new era. The next chapter, the rise of Azure and the cloud. Microsoft's cloud journey began with Azure, launched in 2010 to compete with Amazon Web Services. Under Nadella, Azure became the company's top priority, rebranded as an open, flexible platform for all technologies. Microsoft invested billions in global data centers and expanded Azure's offerings to include AI, analytics, and IoT. The company leveraged its enterprise relationships, offering hybrid cloud solutions attractive to large businesses. Azure's rapid growth made Microsoft the clear number 2 in cloud, transforming its business model to focus on recurring revenue. The pivot to cloud was a corporate transformation, ensuring Microsoft's future. Azure became the foundation for Microsoft's next wave of innovation. The company's influence now extended far beyond the desktop. Microsoft was ready to lead in AI and global digital infrastructure. The future was in the cloud, and Microsoft was at the center. By 2025, Microsoft is a global tech powerhouse built on cloud computing and artificial intelligence. Its business spans Azure, Microsoft 365, Dynamics, Xbox, and Surface, providing stability and growth. AI is now central to Microsoft's strategy, thanks to a deep partnership with OpenAI. AI-powered co-pilot features are embedded across Microsoft's products, changing how people interact with technology. Microsoft's mission is to empower every person and organization to achieve more. The company leads in enterprise cloud and AI, shaping the future of work and digital infrastructure. Gaming remains a key focus, with Xbox and Game Pass driving innovation in entertainment. Microsoft's cloud powers businesses worldwide, while its AI tools redefine productivity. The company has navigated multiple tech revolutions, always adapting and evolving. From a garage startup to a global institution, Microsoft's journey is a story of vision, reinvention, and enduring influence. The next chapter is just beginning.